The cameras flashed like lightning bolts, searing into his eyes as if the world itself wanted to watch him unravel.
Anthony Scaramucci walked out of the West Wing after just 11 days, the shortest tenure in the history of the White House Communications Office.
11 days. Not even 2 weeks.
That was all it took for the media to turn him into a punchline, a caricature, a cautionary tale. He had walked in with swagger and confidence, believing he could bend the chaotic energy of Washington to his will, but what he found was something far more ruthless. By the time the headlines finished with him, he wasn't Anthony Scaramucci anymore, he was the mooch, a spectacle that people consumed like late-night comedy.
Anthony had built his life on hard work. The son of Italian immigrants, he'd grown up with the values of loyalty, grit, and determination drilled into him. He made it to Harvard Law, not because the odds were stacked in his favor, but because he refused to let go of the dream his parents had for him. He worked his way into Wall Street, clawing through setbacks, betrayals, and the cutthroat grind of finance. By the time he made it, he wasn't just wealthy, he was resilient. So when the call came to serve in the White House, it felt like destiny. He thought it was his chance to bring order, to communicate truth, to stand by the president he had chosen to support. But Washington is not Wall Street.
In politics, perception is reality, and perception belongs to the media. Within days, one misstep, one phone call, one too candid moment was all it took to light the match. Reporters, columnists, television hosts, they dissected his words, exaggerated his tone, and gleefully painted him as reckless, arrogant, and unfit. Headlines screamed his downfall before he had even unpacked his boxes. One of the voices at the center of that coverage was Maggie Haberman. A Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist for the New York Times, Maggie had built her reputation on reporting truth from inside the Trump administration.
She was relentless, precise, and unafraid of blowback. To Anthony, she was both an adversary and a mirror.
Through her stories, he saw the version of himself the world believed in, brash, undisciplined, a man undone by his own mouth. The nights after his resignation were the hardest. Anthony would sit in his quiet home, the television glowing with pundits laughing at his expense, late-night comedians delivering punchlines at his name, and even old colleagues pretending they barely knew him. His phone buzzed with texts, some from friends offering sympathy, but many from opportunists distancing themselves, afraid of being tainted by his fall. His marriage faltered, his children overheard the jokes at school, and he felt the shame of being reduced to a headline. "I gave everything I had," he once told a friend, his voice cracking.
"And they didn't just fire me, they destroyed me." But destruction, as Anthony would learn, isn't always the end. Some Tim.